earlier, you talked about P-Day was special because there's not much you get to do as a coach at Nebraska that hasn't been done before. You became the first coach in your time in your first season coaching in the Big Ten to win a title. So not just Nebraska title, a Big Ten record. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's great. I mean, I'm pretty lucky to be blessed with a great returning team. I didn't come in here and rebuild a program and win the first year. So it's a little bit of a unique situation. But of course, it just means a lot, all the work that comes into it, that goes into it for everybody, for the staff, the players, and a lot of trust. And the fact that the staff all stayed, I mean, all that was so important to accomplishing the goal.
And Taylor and Allie were drafted yesterday. Just how excited are you for them?
Super excited. I mean, they both really wanted to play professional, and they both got cities they were fired up about. So I feel like it was just a really good day for our program and them.
When you look at Maisie and Rebecca, homegrown athletes here now playing for Nebraska, just what do they mean? Just all encompassing to be a Nebraska volleyball player?
I think they're both super special to the program, and just two Nebraskans in completely different roles and have had completely different careers, but both really embody what it means to be a Nebraska volleyball player and somebody from Nebraska that's grown up dreaming of playing here, and then so many goals they've accomplished and more to come. But they're both just excellent ambassadors for our program, and they'll be great representatives for years to come.
Kelly put up something yesterday about the draft. The timing of it is not very ideal because these seniors are trying to deal with a lot of the season and the postseason coming up too. I mean, is that something that you had to manage with players on your roster too, and kind of big picture, where do you think the draft should fall on the calendar?
I mean, I don't know what the right answer is, where it should fall, because, I want the pro leagues to do really well and succeed, and if they think this is best for their future, then, I mean, as a college program, NCAA, we can't say, well, you shouldn't do this, it's horrible for us. So there's just got to be a better way to balance it. And I felt like this year was better than last year, and so it seemed like everybody was a bit more organized and knew what to expect. So the goal would be for it to get better and better and smoother year after year. But I don't know what the right answer is. Of course, it'd be great if it was after the season, but that might be too late for the pro league. So I don't know, again, what the right answer is.
What's it been like to get to coach Becca for these 10 months and get to learn about her as a player and as a person and a leader?
Yeah, Becca she's pretty fun to coach. She's challenging in a positive way. She brings so much energy. She, always is the competitive fire. So if you're not doing something in practice that's super competitive, she's going to ask you, like, what are we doing this for? And I don't know, I felt like she's grown a lot in this 10 months as a leader, and I think she's really grown her love for just volleyball in general. She's always loved volleyball, but I feel like from January to now it's grown substantially, and so that's been really awesome to see. And she's the first one to speak up in team meetings, and one thing she says, of course she wants to win more than anybody in our program, as much or more. So I know everybody wants to win, so I won't say more, but she's probably the most vocal about it. But she also is very adamant that she wants to, whether we win or not, she wants to, go out loving these last few moments. And I think that's really cool as a leader and somebody who has fallen short the last couple of years, to say that out loud. Yes, we want to win, but we want to go out feeling great about this season and this team.
Has she challenged you as a coach or tried to help
Yeah,
you
I just think, she's very opinionavid, and I think that's good to have a player like that on your team, so they're not afraid to question coach's decisions. And she loves to give her input, but she always is if you say no or maybe not today, she's like, okay, great. She doesn't get offended by it. So just somebody who will challenge you but takes feedback, and again, it's just always about the team first and winning, and that's what you want, a team player and somebody that's ultra competitive.
On Friday, it will be a blackout. We did the stripe out earlier, was successful. Blackout should be successful. What are your thoughts about the atmosphere will be like?
Well, I think it'll be pretty great. I think it'll be like it always is, but with everybody wearing black. So I do think Penn State will be, it's fun to have it in a big name, a match that people are going to be fired up no matter what the opponent's record is or what our record is. I think that's always going to be a match people circle on their calendars. So I'm pretty excited for it. I think it's the first one too, ever. So that'll be a new sight in Devaney.
It's senior day on Friday.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. What are days?
Yeah.
Saturday. How do you go into that, like managing emotion? Do you just how do you not let the emotion carry over into the match?
Well, I think it always does. I think senior days are always tricky because the first few points are emotional, and of course the announcement is emotional, and you can feel it in the fans, and so it's going to be emotional no matter what we talk about or how we try to prep for it. It's just being able to, after settle in and put those emotions aside for a short time.
What do you remember about your senior day?
I don't really remember anything, to be honest. I don't know. The one thing I remember about my I don't even know if it's senior day, but we played Texas late in the year, and I just remember I had a great dig and Jordan killed it, and it was one of the first plays of the game. And it was against Destiny Hooker. That's one of my best memories. So I think that might have been senior day. I have to look it up.
When you played Penn State, that was maybe one of the better matches that you had, and one of the worst matches they had too. What do you expect in the second time around and prepare for?
Oh yeah, we're not expecting that again. And Penn State's playing well right now, and they still have great players. It's just we caught them on a night when they weren't their best, and we were super hungry and pretty emotional. So I think this game will be completely different. So I expect them to be a little more balanced, and I think their setter's a little more comfortable now. So again, just a lot different team than we played in October.
In your opinion, what are some of the pros and cons of having a conference tournament?
Well, the pros are TV coverage. It gives you a taste of that, one and done type vibe that you're going to feel in the NCAA tournament. So a lot of pressure, every point is pressure packed. The cons are you're playing 3 matches in a row, maybe more, going into the NCAA tournament. Sometimes some upsets could cause some RPI fluctuation. That's a little bit unknown, but I don't know. Again, it's kind of like the draft. I don't know what the right answer is, conference tournaments or not conference tournaments. I'm very curious to see what the feedback is from the coaches of the SEC, because it's been really competitive and fun to watch on TV, which that's one of the pros, but I don't know how they feel about some of those cons.
Other questions? Just generally speaking, in the past, what's your philosophy on voting, your vote for the conference player of the year? Do you favor 6 rotation pins? What would it take to vote for a setter or a middle or a libero?
Usually it's just who has the biggest impact on winning. That would be on that certain team. A lot of times, I take into consideration how those players played in the biggest games of the year, so against the other top opponents, or how they performed in big pressure moments. But typically, if they have the impact that person has on their team winning matches. But I don't consider it has to be a 6 rotation player or a setter, or I think any position is worthy to be a conference player of the year.
Even liberos?
Even liberos, 100%, of course. I'm all on the Justice for Liberos train, always.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.